Hey y'all, welcome to day 12 of Vlogmas. It wasn't until just a little bit ago that I realized today was actually the 12th. I think it's because I spent most of the morning editing day 11, so I was just stuck on day 11. I haven't even opened Advents yet. I was getting organized, kind of, for this video, and I knew something was missing, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I have not opened Advents yet. So I will do those here in just a minute. Kind of sad my little fur baby doesn't get to join in the fun. He is taking a nap right now, and I am not about to wake him up. It is Tuesday, December 12th, and it's around 4 p.m. I just kind of got done working for today. I've got a few things on my list that I'm going to try to finish up this evening. But let me tell you, I went ahead and put my pajama pants on. I feel like that's kind of the official I'm done adulting for today. Like if it requires me leaving the house, it's not going to happen. And I made me a hot cup of cocoa because it's been a week already and it's only Tuesday. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have me a hot cup of cocoa. Or should I say melted marshmallows with a little bit of cocoa. I started brewing decaf coffee and adding a packet of hot cocoa in it and then a bunch of marshmallows. And it is so good. Like, it's so good. I don't think I've ever actually tried decaf coffee without hot chocolate in it. So I don't know if decaf coffee is good, but I love coffee. I cannot have caffeine after like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or I'm not going to sleep good. So I'm super tickled to be able to have coffee in the afternoons with my hot cocoa. Before I get carried away and get super chatty about my day, let's go ahead and open Advents. Day 12 of the Scrappy Advent. I am just really enjoying this Scrappy Advent like so much. Ooh, look at that really pretty gray. That looks really close to the gray that I already have in my juniper cowl. I did not grab it when I was organizing to come in here. I literally had it in my hand and I'm like, well, I haven't even worked on it today. Why am I grabbing this? I didn't think about Advent, so I may run go get that in a minute, or I may forget. Who knows what the next 10 minutes has in store for us. So I'm really curious to see how close this is to the gray that's already in there. I already know that I'm not going to be using all of this Scrappy Advent for the juniper cowl, so I'm totally okay with having extra gray because it's one of my favorite colors. Day 12 of Ruby and Roses. Let me let y'all have a peek first. Am I going to love it? Oh, yes, I am. Oh, look at that. Oh, it is so pretty. I so bad want to untwist this one. Oh, I love it. Oh, and this is called Snow Globe. Day 12 and the last day of the ALC Advent. I'm kind of sad that it's at an end. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this one. And I truly, I know you're probably, if you have watched previous Vlogmas videos, you're probably laughing right now because I think every other one I say it's my favorite, but I really do love this one. Look at those colors. This one is called Aurora Nights. One of my favorite color inspirations is the Northern Lights. So I'm literally running out of different ways to say Northern Lights. I've had a Northern Lights colorway probably more than once. I've had Canadian Sky, Canadian Sunset. Oh, what was the other one? It was literally just last month or the month before Yarn Club. That was another Canadian one. Anywho, I've had a lot of them and I'm running out of ways to say Northern Lights. One of these days, I want to see the Northern Lights in person. I just think it would be absolutely amazing. So this was day 12 and the final colorway for the ALC Yarns Advent. Day 12's goodie is kind of a big one for the Advent. It is this project bag that says, if I can't take my yarn, I'm not going. I just love these little cotton drawstring project bags. They're so lightweight and you can just perfectly drop your yarn and hook or needles in there with a little notions pouch and throw it in your purse. There was also this super cute stitch marker. Let me take it out of the plastic. Here we go. Super cute stitch marker. Both of these are from Back Porch Fiber Co. She is on Etsy and you've got to check out her shop. She has some really cute things in there. I have ordered from her a few times because I do giveaways in the yarn club and I was looking for this type of project bag because one of the very first yarn club months, I want to say it was like the second yarn club month ever. It was back in 2020. One of the extra goodies was a bag like this and I still have it and I have just worn that thing out. And I see a lot of pictures that my yarn club members post with that bag in it. So I knew that they liked it and I thought it would be a super fun item to have up for grabs in the giveaway. And now I can't stop buying from her shop. So we put our heads together and decided that this would be one of the extras for my Advents this year. Today has been a busy day. It's been pretty productive. I finished the edits on day 11's Vlogmas and got it up on YouTube. And I have everything prepped to dye yarn tomorrow. The yarn that I dyed yesterday is washed and it's waiting for me to hang it up to dry. My little cousin came over this morning and kept me company while I was editing Vlogmas, and I think we were both kind of sick of hearing my voice. After I got done with that and packed up a few orders, she washed my yarn for me, so that was wonderful. I just had to carry it all outside and get everything set up for her, so that was really nice not to have to do that. So while she was out there washing up yarn, I got some more things checked off my list. One of the things that was on my list to do is get the rest of the giveaways set up in my yarn club. So I do 12 days of giveaways in December. And y'all, I am cracking up at today's giveaway. So I have like these little games that we play and I have it pulled up on my computer. So that's why I'm looking over here. So day 6, to get their name entered into the drawing for the day 6 prize, they have to comment with a funny like yarn, crochet, or knitting story. The majority of my yarn club members are crocheters because I started out as a crocheter, and that's part of the reason I started dyeing yarn is because I couldn't find worsted weight hand-dyed yarn. Anyways, before I get off on another story, most of my yarn club members are crocheters, but I know I have some knitters now. So that's why I just kind of put all three. It's either yarn, crochet, or knitting, just some type of funny story. I was like, I have several. So I told them a few of my stories and I'm just cracking up at their responses and some of their stories. One of my members was like, I am too busy laughing to think of a good story at the moment. So they were laughing at my story. I love to make people laugh and I love laughing. So this just made my day. I will tell you the stories that I shared with them. One of the first blankets that I made, I am a big bulky weight blanket maker when I used to make blankets. I don't like worsted weight for blankets. I am making a scrappy granny blanket, but I think that's a little different because it's something I can just take my time with and it's not something like I'm trying to hurry up and finish. This was several years ago. I wanted to make my father-in-law a blanket for Christmas in his favorite football team colors. Well, I could not find it on bulky weight yarn. I decided to triple strand worsted weight yarn. Don't do it. And the blanket was just looking kind of weird, and it really wasn't as wide as I wanted it to be. So I decided that I would just put a border on it, and I would just do like 3 or 4 rounds for the border, and that would give me the width that I wanted. I'm not a border person. I'm really weird about it. Like for washcloths, it really bothers me putting a border on something because it goes this way. And then I add a border on it and it's not all going the same way. I know it's so weird, but I can't deal. Okay, let me focus here. So I don't think I had ever put a border on anything before. And let me just read the post before this ends up being 20 years long. Okay. One of the first blankets I made, I triple stranded worsted weight yarn to make a bulky blanket for my father-in-law with his favorite football team colors. I decided to put a border on it, and I don't do borders. I was chaining 3 every corner instead of placing 3 single crochets. And it wasn't until years later that it hit me what was funky about the blanket. I mean, there were several things that were funky about it, but that was the icing on the cake. Really, true talk. I think it was actually this year. I was looking at putting a border on something, and I don't know. I was reading the pattern, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, it just hit me. I was like, oh, that's what was wrong with that blanket. It was like it had a handle at each corner. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm even telling people about that. Some of the things that I did, I'm just like, oh, Nikki. Anyways, now all you can do is just laugh about it. The other funny crochet story, I guess I'm just in a mood today because normally I would not tell this stuff publicly. And my husband's home, so I'm hoping that he's taking a nap with Samson because I don't want him to hear me tell this story, but I'm just going to go with it, and I'm going to read it from the screen so we don't end up with a really long conversation. I was crocheting a handle cover for my cast iron skillet, and I was about halfway through with it when my husband randomly states very loudly, I am not wearing that. I was like, what? Like, what is he talking about? Then I looked at what I was making and it clicked. Y'all, I was in tears laughing because I'm just like, where is his brain? Like, why did he, like, how did he get to that conclusion? I just, guess he thought I was making a willy warmer or something. Did I really just say that on here? Oh my gosh. Y'all, my face is turning red. I am embarrassing myself. Okay. Too much sugar, I guess. Okay, no more hot cocoa before recording. The comments are just cracking me up. Like, I cannot wait to go through them later. Oh my gosh, I've got to read this one to you because it sounds like something that would happen to me. This is what she said. My funny was when one of my keys fell off my key ring and the only identifying keychain left on it was one that said, I'm a naughty, naughty hooker. Listening to that come over the loudspeaker was hilarious. Watching people's faces as I did the walk of yarn shame to go get my key was priceless. Oh my gosh. That must have been a really important key because I don't know if I would have claimed it. I'm kidding. Oh goodness. Okay. I just had to share those with you. They crack me up. Let me focus before I end up reading you all of the comments. I'm going to share with you the progress that I've made on a few of my whips today. I was working on the last sassy fingerless glove while I was editing the podcast. And y'all, I was just in here chatting with my little cousin and there for her for Christmas. It wasn't until like I got a couple of rounds and we were talking and I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't think she even knows, but I was like, let me just put these away. Before, I'm just like, oh, by the way, I'm making these for you for Christmas because I do stuff like that. Yeah, I know you're surprised at this point. I really want to get that finished because I'm ready to check all of the names off of my Christmas list so I can start wrapping. I'm using my new bag, and isn't it just the cutest? My Find Your Fade shawl is in here, and I've made some progress. I really need to get my steamer out and block it so you can see it better, but this is where I'm at. I started on this last night when I got to the very end of editing Vlogmas day 9 and 10, and I set a timer this morning and worked on this just sitting there without getting up. And that was really nice because I'm so bad in the mornings about sitting down and working on a few things. And then it's like every 10 minutes I'm getting up because I need to refill my coffee, or the cats want out, or the dog wants out. And this morning I'm like, I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes and I am not going to get up. And after 30 minutes, I ended up getting up and doing a few more things, and then I sat back down. It was really nice to just sit and knit and focus on this for a bit. Then I took Samson for a very short walk because it's super cold. Then I did a few things around the house before starting to work on editing Vlogmas Day 11. I was determined to get that up on YouTube before lunchtime, and I was pretty close. I keep forgetting to say this, and I don't remember if I said it earlier when I talked about shipping out a few orders that I had. I sent off the giveaway goodie to the Vlogmas winner. Let's have another giveaway for Vlogmas. I think I'm going to do it a little bit different this time, and I'm going to wait until the last day of Vlogmas to draw names for the winner. That way, more people have time to watch it because I know personally I'm behind on Vlogmas. I got caught up, I don't even know when it was. It was a while ago, and I haven't watched a single one since. I think doing it this way will give more people a chance to join in the fun. I will have more details on that here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to do something fun on Vlogmas. I did this on my podcast. I don't remember when. It's been a while. And it was really neat to see what people are curious about. So I had an Ask Me Anything box on my Instagram stories that you could ask me anything. Crochet, yarn, personal life, business, whatever it was, you could ask me and I would answer it on here. Let's dive into those. The first question is, and these are not in order, they're just random. Did you knit or crochet something for your hubby for Christmas? No. I would if he asked me to, but he's really just not into it. And I get it. It's totally fine. I did make him a muscle burr hat with some yarn that he had dyed, and that was really cool. And he wears that when it's cold, and he really seems to enjoy it. I'm really trying to get him to want a pair of hand knit socks, but he's just not interested. And I'm not about to spend all that time knitting him a pair of socks that he just might not wear. So no, I did not knit or crochet him anything for Christmas. Have you gotten your Hank twister back? Yes, it came in yesterday and I used it today, and oh my goodness, it is so much better. I am beyond tickled to have that back, and I can't wait to have some time to twist up like the 3 racks of yarn that I have hanging waiting to be twisted. This one is something I'm like super passionate about. I want to start designing crochet patterns, but where do I start? I get it. I personally would start out with something small that I've made a lot of. My first few designs were beanies. I loved making beanies and I had made a ton of them. And it all started out when I wanted to make a bulky weight beanie for somebody's little kid. And I had a picture in my head of how I wanted it to look, and I could not find a pattern anywhere. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with it because I know what I want. So I just made this beanie, and it was super cute. I didn't write anything down. And I'm like, how did I do this? So then I'm trying to remember what I did. That was a hot mess. Before I make this an hour long, I think my 5 top places I would start, something that you've made a lot of, take really good notes, find you a crochet buddy. Do you have any like online crochet friends that you've been talking with for a while that you can trust with your pattern? I think that's where I would start there. That way you have somebody that can kind of hold your hand a little bit. I'm kind of speaking from what I wish I would have had when I started designing patterns because I really just didn't know anybody. I would chat with them about the pattern, just kind of have them look at it, see if they want to test it for you, and then reach out and find some testers. And if you need any references, just send me a message on Instagram or send me an email. I will be more than happy to help you. The last thing I'm going to say is the hardest part of designing is letting it go out into the world. You're going to have all these thoughts like, I haven't been crocheting long enough. I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody's gonna like it. Or be like, there's already a ton of beanie patterns, blah, 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 blah. What if somebody else has a pattern like this and they think that I copied them? All of that is normal, so don't freak out. Okay, for real this time. Last thing, don't focus on being perfect. Do the best that you can and keep an open mind because it's in our mistakes that we learn the most. Don't get caught up in trying to have everything just perfect. Do the best that you can, get some pattern testers, put it out into the world. And if you get feedback where somebody's confused or they don't understand a part and you seem to get a lot of feedback about that same issue, you can always edit your pattern later. I am slowly going through my patterns and going back and fixing things. When you know better, you do better. So as I design more or crochet more and learn more about it, I'm going back and updating those patterns. So just know, it's not set in stone. If there's an error, you can always go back and fix it. Next question. Before I think of more things, I probably should have like written all of this down instead of doing it on the fly, but I don't know, I guess I'm more authentic this way and spazzy. Okay. How many animals do you have? It seems like I have a lot of animals because they all have huge personalities. I have 2 cats and 1 puppy. My 2 cats are, golly, how old are they now? I think they're 8. I think my cats are 8 now. Samson just turned 6 months old at the end of November. Next question. Did your business start out with dyeing yarn? No, it didn't. When I decided to turn crocheting into a business, I honestly wanted to make to sell. That didn't last very long. I don't like making the same thing over and over again or having the pressure of a deadline. Then I decided I wanted to be a crochet designer and have a blog where I shared designs and I shared tips, and I wanted to have all kinds of crochet patterns and video tutorials on YouTube. Honestly, I'm still very passionate about designing crochet patterns and teaching others to crochet and having crochet pattern video tutorials up on YouTube. But my yarn business keeps me so busy that I really cannot dedicate a lot of time to that. I started dyeing yarn just for fun because I really wanted some worsted weight yarn that was hand dyed, and it just quickly turned into a business. It's still crazy to look back at it because I never dreamed it would turn into a business. It has been such an amazing journey. Last question. Are you working on growing your business or are you content where it is? This is a good one because it's something I'm kind of wrestling with and I've been wrestling with. I do want to grow my business. So this is going to be very layered. I do want to grow my business. I really enjoy dyeing yarn and I just love my yarn club. Surprising them every single month, having all the extra goodies and trying to, after 3 years of doing this and trying to still like keep it fresh and not like repeat a lot of things, it's exciting, it's challenging, and the community in the yarn club is just my favorite part. I have so much fun with them. I enjoy their posts, and I feel like there's been a lot of friendships that have been made in there. The other side of that, I'm out of room in my house. I am beyond grateful to be able to run my business from home because it's a dream come true. But the constant chaos of my house and being out of room, and I think it's just wearing on me, if I'm just being honest. So part of me wants to grow my business and get more yarn club members, but there's a part of me that is content where it's at right now because I don't know what it's going to look like if it gets bigger, because I don't want a commercial space. I've been in this long enough now, and I have made some yarn dyeing friends that have went from dyeing in their home to a commercial space to having a team, and I think that's absolutely amazing, and I am so proud of them and so happy for them because that's what they wanted in their business. But that's not what I want for my business. I don't want a team. I like being the person that's dyeing the yarn and that's hands-on. I love dyeing the yarn. Now, all the other stuff is okay, but if I could just dye yarn every single day, I would. The dyeing the yarn starts all the work that comes after it, so I get very little yarn dyeing time and a lot more organizing and getting it ready to ship out time. Again, I run my business from my home, so I don't really want workers because I'm going to have people in my house. So that's where I'm at. Ideally, I think how I would like to grow my business is, yes, get some more yarn club members, but I don't think I want more than 100 yarn club members. I really want to grow the digital side of my business, like more crochet patterns. I would love to monetize my YouTube channel with my podcast. I would love to be able to podcast consistently, weekly, twice a month, something like that, and have more video tutorials. I have so many YouTube videos that I want to do. One of them is like some of my favorite like crochet, knitting, Amazon finds. Another one is some really cool Dollar Tree finds that I have found. I want to do some like beginner knitting, like, hey, are you a crocheter who wants to learn to knit? Let me help you out. And just like little things that really helped me learn how to knit, because I feel like I have a different approach to some things. Okay, before I go on a 20-minute tangent here, I do want to grow my business, but not in the way that I thought I wanted to 2 years ago. Thank you for that question, because it really made me do some deep thinking that I haven't been doing for a while, because it's been such a busy year that I've been working in my business and not working as much on my business. Well, thank y'all for your Ask Me Anything questions. That is always fun for me. Let me know in the comments if you want me to post another Ask Me Anything box in my Instagram stories. Or if you're not on Instagram and you have a question you want me to answer, just pop it in the comments and I will answer it in one of the upcoming Vlogmas videos. Are you ready for another giveaway? I'm having so much fun with the day 6 giveaway in my yarn club. I think that's what I want to do for this giveaway. Comment below with a funny yarn, crochet, or knitting story to get your name entered into the drawing. And on day 25 of Vlogmas, I will announce who the winner is. That is a wrap for Vlogmas day 12. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Are you watching my Vlogmas?
Yeah.
Are you fast forwarding it?
No. I wouldn't dare do that.
It sounded like it. You're doing it now.
The world's greatest husband wouldn't do that. Blah, 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 y'all.
What were you just saying?
Blah, 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 yarn. Where is Samson? Colorful sock. Blah, 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 washcloth.
You're so mean.
Blah, blah, blah.
I love that you have my pink blanket